Purdy floats one. Pearsall's wide open. Ricky Pearsall, 25 yards. Try to go the distance on the opening drive. There's Kittle. He's got it. Niners go 95 on their first drive of the season. Seven game. Niners go back to work. Here's McCaffrey. Waits for a block to develop. Skirts to the outside and gets 11 on the first play of the drive. Fake to Robinson. Looking long. Stepping up. He's got Juszczyk wide open. Juszczyk to the 16. He was given all day to strike downfield for 25.
Force teams to have to block for that return and try to pin him inside the 35.
There we go. 49ers perfect balance in that first half. Going to start the second with a toss to McCaffrey. And Christian McCaffrey pinballed ahead to midfield. Jennings is out. Kittle's out for the day with a hamstring issue. Continue to feed McCaffrey. A surge on the left side and a big hole for Christian McCaffrey's longest run of the day. Into Seahawks territory. Pick up a 14.
He can do so many things, you can almost overwork him.
Straight drop from Purdy. To the sideline, Pearsall. He's got it. Beating Woolen. Ricky Pearsall with a flag down.
With 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning.
Purdy's given time. Wants it all. Downfield, Pearsall's got it. Ricky Pearsall inside the 25. Biggest play of the day.
However I can, because I'm going for the win.
He swinged out into the end zone, wasn't open. Purdy keeping it alive. Brock Purdy lofts one. It is Tonjes. Touchdown, San Francisco. Jake Tonjes, who had never caught a pass in the NFL, has caught 3 today, including the go-ahead touchdown with 1:34 left.
Wow. To get one more possession, and possessions are so important in the NFL game.
3rd and 6, they bring pressure, picked up, Jones throws, open, and it's caught. Jennings down the sideline. Clock will continue to run.
So a shot to the end zone, expect right here from San Francisco.
And here it comes, Mac Jones in a clean pocket, floats it for McCaffrey, makes the catch, touchdown, San Francisco. Picture perfect throw from Mac Jones to Christian McCaffrey.
It is so special to see the impact we can have.
Yep, no doubt about that as they find Jennings running free. Jawan Jennings going to take it in for a San Francisco touchdown. 42 yards from Jones to Jennings for 6.
And then 3 years at Arizona State before transferring to Florida. Christian McCaffrey breaks through. Down inside the 25 of Arizona, and Jake Tonjes with a nice block along the edge. Mac Jones, the backup for the injured Brock Purdy, trying to lead a game-winning drive. And he dumps it off for Christian McCaffrey with room to run. Here comes McCaffrey, and it's inside the red zone. 15 seconds left. On 3rd and 5, Purdy floats it. Pearsall looking for separation. Did he hold on? What a catch inside the Jacksonville 40. Slick Rick living up to the name.
Lone tackle so far.
Purdy floats it for Jennings, who had to reach up to rescue it. Tyson Campbell makes the tackle. Purdy, shovel, McCaffrey navigating to the end zone for the touchdown. He's in for pass pro right there, as you saw. And that leaves McCaffrey out on the perimeter. Johnson trying to run him out. He eventually did, well past the 40. Multiple motions. Purdy, the screen to the left for Tonjes with a convoy. And Jake Tonjes is in the end zone for the 2nd time in his NFL career. And the Niners are within a score.
They have 10 days off. We'll see about their next game at Tampa Bay. Off play action. He's chased. He throws. It's a screen. It's McCaffrey And he picks up the first down and a lot more. Gets close to midfield to the 47-yard line. Christian McCaffrey, first down, San Francisco. Bourne was the motion man. Jones looks that way. Jones throws to the left side. That's hauled in by McCaffrey. Huge first down. Jones 29 of 44. He's thrown for 308 yards, 2 touchdowns. Swings it out to the right side. That's McCaffrey. Nice move. Nice subtle move to the inside and a big gain as he takes it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
Kind of put off with all the talk about no rush touchdowns. They're ready to end that. Here it goes. McCaffrey. There it is. Touchdown. San Francisco.
You have a unique way of bringing up certain stats when you have a feeling they're going to change.
Okay, so down to 66 seconds. To McCaffrey.
Ooh.
Spins away somehow and gets it all the way out to the 38.
That's crazy. Just a simple 20-yard play.
He's never been anywhere close to that number. He's always been better than that.
It's been 5 a carry tonight, and it gets better here. That's 15, a first down, right around the 25-yard line. With Jesse Bates tackling McCaffrey. The frustration of it, too, after signing the huge deal here in the offseason. McCaffrey, the pitch to the left on first down. He's been getting a lot of yardage and doesn't there. The first down at the 32-yard line.
26th, 27th when it comes to scoring, and especially down in the red zone.
McCaffrey, third run, another big run to Falcon territory at the 49-yard line. At the 2-minute warning, it is 3rd and 4 for Mac Jones. Got some time, escapes to his left. Looking and throwing to McCaffrey, who goes to the 1-yard line. First and goal as McCaffrey comes free, and Jones played it out perfectly. Oblique injury also for Jones. Falcons call the timeout. First and goal from the 1. McCaffrey inside, into the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco.
And we really haven't seen Kittle as a part of the passing game yet. We wonder now if he comes into play.
McCaffrey inside, first down, dragged down by Watts as he gets to the 14-yard line. Where's Jennings? Where's Kittle? Where's McCaffrey? Jones throws. It's caught by McCaffrey. First and goal, San Francisco, inside the 5. The best running back here, probably McCaffrey, who's going to get the gifts. They close it out. And here he is on the run, inside, pushing the pile to the goal line, in for the touchdown. Have a day, have a night, CMC.
That they had to put together on the defensive side of the ball tonight against a good offense started.
And McCaffrey adds to his big night.
Williams. But that ball had to come out much quicker.
3rd and 17, longest third down of the day. Jones looking for the end zone. It is caught by Jawan Jennings at the 1.
From 61 with a little bit of room to spare, so they got to get out around the 43.
Quick toss to McCaffrey over the middle. Nice move. Step through a tackle. Trying to break the Stingley tackle, who just got him around the ankles and down at the 41.
He didn't come back to the ball. That was going to be intercepted.
Here's Chaco block. 1st and 10 pitch. McCaffrey wheels. Got another block in there by Hennessy. And he's down to the 10.
With 4 secondary players injured today, just on this lineup card.
12th play of the drive. Williams the block. McCaffrey touchdown. And each quarterback with a touchdown pass on their first possession this afternoon in the Meadowlands. That long drive the first time they had it. McCaffrey in there, a couple tight ends, 1st and 10. They got a block in there on Burns that opened the door, and look at him push the pile. Various players, and they're 5 and 3 with it. 3rd down 4. Jones right on the screws. Jawan Jennings, touchdown.
Well, you could tell by the press coverage they were going to get man-to-man, and they had the perfect call, a double move on the outside.
Nick Saban, of course, was his coach at Alabama. He played him back at Tua and Hurts until he got his chance. 2nd and 8. Right on the money again. It's Jennings by midfield. And brought down by Okereke with a terrific throw on 2nd and 8, picking up 20. 20th sack for New York. 3rd and 17 underneath. This is McCaffrey. Kittle with the block and down to the 35, ramming his way into Dante Banks. With the 2nd down and 9 to McCaffrey from Jones. Oh, he's got room to roam. Into the secondary, got by Belton, and then he comes back in black, combines on the stop. Catch and run.
And Purdy's not far from coming back. He's dealing with that toe. He's missed his 7th game today, but
3rd and goal, McCaffrey. With a block by McKivitz and a block in there by Purdy. Touchdown. Another one. 2nd today for McCaffrey.
One on the ground and one through the air.
Yep.
Jones, pressure in his face, over the middle. Carr, touchdown! Jennings. And our service, women and men. All right, 1:06 to go. 49ers down 2 touchdowns. Mac Jones has a man. Carr, Jennings hangs on with the big hit from Quentin Lake. And now the 49ers got something going. In that run defense you talked about, Aaron, holding San Francisco to 2.8 a carry. So they're going to throw it instead of McCaffrey. That works. McCaffrey first down and sprints away into Rams territory. Down to the 44. Officially a 98-yard return from the 1. McCaffrey, a jump cut and in for a touchdown.
It's a very challenging scheme that's very multiple during the course of the game.
On 3rd and long. Purdy in a clean pocket. Open in Arizona territory is Jennings. Purdy feathers it in, and he's down at the Arizona 43, a pickup of 25. Here's Purdy. Looking for it all. He's got Kittle there. It's caught. Touchdown, San Francisco.
And John Lynch, after that Jacksonville game.
Here's McCaffrey, nice move, found a little bit of a crease, and he's got a first down.
He's got a certain play style. Is that Luke Farrell just initiating the contact, or did Max Melton jump into his way as he was releasing?
Here's Purdy, McCaffrey all alone, he'll walk in for a touchdown. And a draw play to McCaffrey. And McCaffrey sifting through that Cardinal defense. And a first down, nudging the football to the Arizona 49. Pickup of 12.
Of the big guns here on the offensive side of the ball, it's Christian McCaffrey who was always there.
Looking for McCaffrey on the screen. 3 blockers in front for McCaffrey. And a first down. Purdy floats it back to the end zone. All alone is George Kittle. His 2nd touchdown catch of the day. And the 50th touchdown catch of his career.
I love that phrase. He's got to attack practice, and it has to be aggressive. And to your point, that foot in the turf and how he turns that football loose. And he's not thinking about the toe anymore. He's thinking about the throw.
1st and goal, toss play, McCaffrey, blockers in front, breaks a tackle, touchdown, Christian McCaffrey, the cherry on top for the San Francisco 49ers.
Last 5 games, 16 touchdowns, 19 trips. Here's Jennings, and he's going to take it in after breaking tackles, touchdown 49ers. On 2nd down here, Purdy is able to get it to Kittle. Play number 13 on this drive. Toss to McCaffrey. Gets blocking and a touchdown. Wanted to break free. I guess did. Here's McCaffrey with a first down. Ball comes out, but he was down.
And they are with the wind here in the first quarter with McCaffrey the back. Juszczyk on the move. Purdy with play action, 1st and 10, chased by Garrett downfield. He's checked and then belted out of bounds by Hickman. Here they only have one tight end in. 3rd and goal, McCaffrey, touchdown, got in there. All set up on a 66-yard punt return by Sky Moore. A 1-yard touchdown run for Christian McCaffrey.
And dealing with it in cold weather can't feel good.
One timeout, 1st and 10, going deep into the wind and looking for Kittle. Broken up on the play. Hickman.
Oh, they're calling catch.
They're going to call the catch.
And then ripped out at the end.
They got Kittle over there. 3rd down and 6. Blocked by Williams. Here's the throw. 1st down grab. Jennings. And it comes right in front of Miles Harden.
How many guys have put near the line of scrimmage?
Robinson the back, 3rd and 9, and caught inside the 5. That's Kittle, grabbed on the play by Hickman. 3rd down and goal. The fake, Purdy, touchdown, San Francisco. What deception! 2-yard touchdown run, Brock Purdy. It's a goal to go right now from the 7. Purdy to the end zone, caught for the touchdown. Grabbed by Jennings.
Another long San Francisco drive, the 12th play of this series coming. Purdy punts and throws, and it is caught for the touchdown by Jennings.
That kind of hesitates linebackers and gives those opportunities to throw crossing routes.
Purdy trying to buy some time. Up to the line, throws downfield, and connects with Demarcus Robinson for a big gain.
And how good a player he's becoming. Of course, Jeffrey Simmons, Cedric Gray, the run stopper.
Can they do it again, or is it McCaffrey? It's McCaffrey. Got a penalty marker thrown on the play as well as CMC takes it in.
Of course, you miss a tackle in space on Christian McCaffrey, you're in trouble.
It ends up being a 14-yard gain. Purdy sets up, deep shot down the middle. He's got Pearsall down inside the 15.
And I think a lot of it's just a confidence thing. It's like coming into this game, you just felt like they really wanted to get him going.
Purdy scrambling, throwing, end zone. Jennings, he is in again.
For these motion landmarks and how to set these lanes up and get the ball out of his hands on time.
Off play action. Purdy. Nice job stepping up. Nothing downfield. So he ends up running for it. Stays in bounds. Little pump fake and steps out of bounds. Purdy maneuvering, jumps, throws, touchdown. It's Kittle. And it's a rout in Santa Clara. Using McCaffrey in motion. Deep down the middle and a connection. It's Jennings who's had a big day, and suddenly San Francisco is right back to the 40 in plus territory.
He rushed for over 40 yards in that game, and a couple of them really timely.
Over the middle, this is Kittle, and what an adjustment. End zone. Robinson for the touchdown. Purdy. He's got his guy, and guess who? McCaffrey. After covering on that kick, out to the 31 went Sky Moore, and now Christian McCaffrey off to a good start. Brought down by Nick Cross, but not before he got 12.
It was all because of that 3rd down scramble by him that gave Shanahan an opportunity to make a decision.
McCaffrey inside the 30. Juszczyk leading the way again in a run of 18 yards for Christian McCaffrey. Good drive, 2nd down and 4. Purdy Throws back across the field and has a touchdown. George Kittle.
I think when they're healthy in the offensive line and the way Daniel Jones was playing, they had a Super Bowl offensive roster as well.
Here's a completion to Sky Moore. And a nice spinning catch and a big completion from Brock Purdy of 23. Chasing Purdy and now 3rd and goal. Purdy. Jennings with a catch. Touchdown 49ers.
Snowmobiles and everything else.
E-bikes.
Yeah.
You name it. Purdy over the middle. Somehow Jennings makes that grab. McCaffrey got it and then some. McCaffrey down inside the 25 and out of bounds near the 21. Trent Williams and Kyle Juszczyk paved the way. And they snap it instead on 3rd down and goal. Wide open, McCaffrey gets it instead.
What's up? 3rd and 2. Fake to McCaffrey. Purdy moves, flies towards the end zone. It's down at the 1 to DeMarcus Robinson, but a flag came down in the secondary as well. 1st and goal from the 1. Purdy. Touchdown. Launching to the end zone for the touchdown by Tonjes. What a response from San Francisco. He's got it to add to the running yard total here. McCaffrey 1st down, sideline. McCaffrey's longest run of the year. All the way down to the 23-yard line. By far his longest run of the season, 43 yards. Purdy on the boots, got space, gonna take off, inside the 5, Purdy to the end zone! Touchdown, San Francisco!
Has made such a difference for his career and the career of Drew Brees, but the other thing is they're getting protection up front too.
Play pass here on 2nd and 10. Looking for something deep. Coming sideline Pearsall. Ricky Pearsall to the 45-yard line. Gain of 30 for the wide receiver. McCaffrey moving inside to open space. McCaffrey, great move. 16 yards to the 5. 1st and goal, 49ers. 1st and goal, Juszczyk in motion, leading the way from McCaffrey to the edge, to the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. CMC TD. Second and goal, Purdy keeping, and he scores again. Saw the Bears playing 3 across the back here with no timeouts. Just give it to McCaffrey, let him run for as much as he can, which is plenty to midfield. Now can they get down, spike it with 3 seconds left, and 2, and 1, and no. And we'll hit halftime. And you mentioned Williams. He is now officially ruled out for the remainder of the game with that hamstring injury. Purdy, 1st down throw, and beautiful layered throw. Inside the 40 is Kendrick Bourne with the reception. Had to go quick with the play clock running down. He did. It's a boot. Purdy pulling back, stepping forward, throwing on the run. Touchdown! What a play, Purdy! Juszczyk on the business end. You deserve to dance. McCaffrey splits out 3rd and 7. They bring 4. Purdy fires middle. Pearsall having a night. 1st down at the 47-yard line. That's a gain of 19, and the Niners stay on the move. To the San Francisco 44, 3:14 to go. Fake to McCaffrey, come right back to him with some blocking. McCaffrey outside the numbers. There goes Christian McCaffrey inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Juszczyk in motion. Still Purdy with a clean pocket. It's complete. It's Jawan Jennings to the pylon. Touchdown! The Niners take the lead.
featuring their tight end and their halfback. You see they're already on the ball with some tempo, try to catch Eagles off guard.
Purdy has Robinson deep and wide open for first down, and he breaks through. Foot race now, cuts back, and again, and still on his feet all the way down to the 15.
Second and goal, couple of fakes, Purdy quick throw, caught in the end zone, touchdown! Robinson again, and the 49ers strike first.
Heartbreaking to see.
Now they got to figure it out without one of their leaders as Purdy will rifle it over the middle. That's a good start. Juwan Jennings racing away from Eagles. Jennings inside the 30. That's a pretty good response from Purdy on target to Juwan Jennings for 45.
The one that ended up being intercepted there by Purdy, just if he makes the right read. There are some guys open in the secondary today, just like that.
On the fake, Purdy's got time, has Juszczyk wide open, room to run. Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, puts his shoulders down and down to the Philly 40. Sky Moore again, little trickery. Back to Juwan Jennings, who's thrown it before. Going deep, McCaffrey, he's got it! Touchdown 49ers, but there's a flag. Wait, hold on. Let's see what the flag is. Third and goal. Purdy, pressure, steps up, caught, touchdown San Francisco. It's McCaffrey. Purdy, pressure, they set up a screen. McCaffrey's got a good block and a good move for McCaffrey, who's got a first down. Four-man rush. Purdy, pressure, steps away, being chased, throws it back. He's got a man open, it is caught by Tonjes. What a play by Purdy there to keep the drive alive.
Oh, my.
Purdy steps away, looking to just take off and run. Purdy sprints through and brought Purdy all the way up across the 45. One timeout, 13 seconds left. Third and long for Purdy. Pressure in his face. Slides away, in trouble, lets it rip high and caught to Jennings. What a play from Brock Purdy, and Jennings has a first down.